Football is a game of giants clubs with billion-dollar budgets, global superstars, and trophy cabinets bursting with silver. In 2015, a tiny team from a quiet English town dared to dream something unthinkable. Leicester City, nicknamed the Foxes, faced odds of 5,000 to 1, compared to finding Elvis alive. To win the Premier League, Leicester City wasn't born to dazzle. Founded in 1884, they were a club of grit, not glamour, rooted in a modest industrial town. For over a century, they toiled in the shadows of England's elite, with no major trophies and a history of yo-yoing between divisions. In 2014, freshly promoted to the Premier League, they nearly fell back down, surviving relegation by a whisker. Their home, the King Power Stadium, held 32,000 fans a speck compared to Old Trafford's 75,000. Their squad was a mosaic of misfits. Jamie Vardy, their star striker, was a late bloomer who'd played non-league football while working in a factory. Signed for £1 million, he was a gamble. Riyad Mahrez, a wiry winger from France's second tier, cost just £400,000. Wes Morgan, the Jamaican-born captain, was a journeyman defender. Their budget was a measly £20 million, dwarfed by Manchester City's £200 million. Bookmakers gave them 5,000 to 1 odds to win the title, worse than betting on a snowstorm in July. Claudio Ranieri, a 64-year-old Italian manager with a reputation for near misses, took the reins in 2015. Known as the Tinkerman for his tactical tweaks, he'd coached giants like Chelsea but never won a major league title. He brought a quiet confidence and a bold plan. The 2015-16 Premier League was a Titans' playground. Chelsea, the defending champions, boasted stars like Eden Hazard. Manchester City had Aguero and billions in backing. Arsenal's flair and United's legacy loomed large. Tottenham, with young guns like Harry Kane, were rising fast. Leicester was barely a footnote, predicted to finish near the bottom. Pundits called them relegation fodder. Social media buzzed with jokes about their chances. Football has a history of underdog miracles, though. In 1978, Nottingham Forest, another small club, won the league against all odds. The Premier League's global reach, 3 billion viewers in 200 countries, meant the world was watching. Leicester's story wasn't just about football, it was about defying a system rigged for the rich. When the season kicked off, Leicester caught fire. They weren't just surviving, they were winning. Jamie Vardy became a scoring machine, netting in 11 consecutive matches, a Premier League record. His raw speed and hunger stunned defenders. Riyad Mahrez weaved magic, his footwork leaving opponents dizzy. Wes Morgan and Robert Huth formed a defensive wall, while Danny Drinkwater's passes clicked like clockwork. Ranieri's tactics were simple but deadly: defend deep, strike fast. He motivated with humour, promising pizza for clean sheets. The team delivered 6 clean sheets by December. They beat Sunderland 4-2, thrashed West Ham 2-1, and stunned Aston Villa with a 5-2 comeback. By Christmas, Leicester were in the top 4, defying every prediction. Skeptics loomed. Pundits insisted they'd collapse. Injuries threatened. Vardy tweaked his hamstring, Mahrez nursed knocks. Big clubs like Liverpool and Tottenham were gaining. Social media buzzed with doubt, but Leicester's fans chanted louder. By January 2016, Leicester wasn't just a team, they were a global phenomenon. The hashtag #FearTheFox trended worldwide, with millions of ex-posts celebrating their run. Fans from Bangkok to Brazil donned blue scarves. Vardy's Factory to Fame story inspired workers everywhere. Mahrez, an Algerian hero, became a symbol of hope. Even unsung players like Mark Albrighton and N'Golo Kante shone, with Kante's tireless running stealing the show. A 3-0 rout of Newcastle showed their dominance. A 1-0 upset over Chelsea, the champions, sent shockwaves. A 3-1 win at Manchester City's Etihad Stadium, with Mahrez's stunning goal, silenced the crowd. Leicester led the league. Tottenham's Kane and Arsenal's Ozil were closing in. The pressure was crushing. Ranieri kept the team grounded, preaching humility. Leicester's community rallied, local pubs overflowed, schools buzzed with Fox's pride. The city's history of resilience, from industrial struggles to wartime grit, mirrored the team's fight. This was bigger than football, it was a movement. Spring 2016 was a rollercoaster. Leicester led the Premier League, but Tottenham and Arsenal were relentless. A 2-0 win over Southampton showed their steel. A 1-0 victory against Crystal Palace tested their nerve. Vardy's suspension after a red card sparked panic, but backups like Leonardo Ulloa stepped up, scoring crucial goals. The world watched every move. X-posts exploded with #Leicester Miracle. Fans shared stories. A Thai monk blessed the team. A London cabbie bet his savings at 5,000 to 1 odds. A 1-1 draw against Manchester United, with Vardy's goal, kept Leicester ahead. One result would decide it all: Tottenham's match against Chelsea on May 2, 2016. If Spurs faltered, Leicester's dream hung in the balance. That night, Tottenham drew 2-2 with Chelsea. Leicester City were crowned Premier League champions. A team of underdogs, with a budget 10 times smaller than their rivals, achieved the impossible. Vardy, once a factory worker, was a legend. Mahrez won PFA Player of the Year. Ranieri, the Tinkerman, was a genius. The King Power Stadium roared, streets filled with blue, and fans worldwide wept tears of joy. This wasn't just a title, it was a revolution that proved heart could beat money. Leicester's 5,000 to 1 triumph, with 81 points and 68 goals, redefined football. It showed that dreams, no matter how wild, can come true with grit, belief, and unity. Want more epic underdog tales? Subscribe to Underdog Tales TV for weekly stories that inspire. Hit the bell, follow us on TikTok, and join the global movement of dreamers. Let's keep the Fox's spirit alive.